I have, we have, I decided to speak out. I decided to tell the truth. And no matter what, freedom is not free. So you guys remember where I'm standing because this is where the.
But see, when Ali Carter came back and, also addressed it, now that's just dead.
Mm.
They wanted to believe those phonies. We wanted to believe those fakes. Just like they wanted to believe Courtney Burgess.
If Ali Carter turned up dead tomorrow, would anyone really be shocked? Honestly, with how things are going in the industry, it wouldn't even feel strange anymore. It's starting to seem expected. Ali's been out here calling everything out. In the music world, like it's her mission. And she's not being quiet about it either. She's loud, bold, and putting it all out there. She's saying it's not just about body image anymore. According to her, women in the industry are getting into some seriously dark stuff. Rituals, stealing babies, and even drinking blood to stay young. Normally, we'd chalk that up to wild TikTok conspiracy theories, the kind that sit next to stories about Bigfoot or claims that Beyoncé's a clone. But here's where it gets serious. Jaguar Wright backed up everything Ali said, and more. And let's not forget, Jaguar has already been shut down hard for speaking out before, arrested, dragged through the mud, almost completely silenced. So if Ali Carter suddenly disappears or ends up dead under strange circumstances, don't act like nobody saw it coming. Jaguar Wright went on camera and said, "Y'all really think Diddy's the one trying to take out Ali?" She shut that down quick, saying it's way deeper than that, and not who people are expecting. And let me tell you, the internet lost it. People were more shocked than when Bad Boy's PR took a hit. Now, we're not saying everything Jaguar said is fact, but we're not calling her a liar either. What's clear is that she keeps showing up, untouched, like she's got some kind of protection, either from a higher power or she's got people watching out for her. Maybe both. Jaguar claims they've tried to silence her. She said the same thing happened with Cat Williams. And now? It looks like Ali Carter's the new target. Probably because she's making too much noise and calling out names. Brands are starting to look like a hit list, and it seems like some of these people plan on exposing everything before they go down. And according to Jaguar, Diddy might not even be the real person behind it this time. He could just be the distraction. Allegedly, there's someone else in control, someone even more dangerous and messy than Puff.
I never feel bad for people who don't feel bad for anyone other than themselves. These are extreme narcissists.
What Ali's been talking about isn't just disturbing, it's the kind of stuff that turns your stomach. She says she's not just being followed or watched, she's being hunted, like prey. According to her, people broke into her home, and she even shared the footage. She believes they tried to poison her. Now she's scared, not just for herself, but for her family too. And whether people believe her or not, some things are definitely confirmed. Her place was trashed, her license plate was leaked, and her home address was doxed. That's not paranoia, that's real evidence. What's got everyone shaken is why she says they're coming after her. Ali claims she saw powerful people in the entertainment world doing things that sound like they're straight out of a horror movie. She's not talking about rumors. She says she witnessed it herself. Not just surgeries and body trafficking, but full-blown ritual stuff. Chains, animals, and people bathing in blood. It's like something from a real-life American horror story. Now, before we even go further, serious warning here. What she says next is deeply upsetting. Ali claims that they're targeting very young children, toddlers even, and doing things that are beyond horrific. She says they're tied up in barns, assaulted, filmed, and used in satanic rituals. She talks about people hanging kids from ceilings with hooks to take their blood for something called adrenochrome. Yeah, it sounds like something ripped from a banned internet thread, but she insists it's real. And the reason she says people don't believe her? Because the truth is so horrifying, the mind just refuses to accept it. If it is real, then that means this nightmare's been happening right in front of us, and we've just been ignoring it. You might wonder, if this is really going on, why aren't we seeing Amber Alerts? Where are the missing kids posters? Ali has an answer for that too. She says these aren't kids from our neighborhoods. A lot of them, she claims, are brought in quietly from poor countries, untraceable and seen as disposable. And remember how Diddy suddenly got hit with human trafficking allegations. Most people thought it was just about wild parties. But according to Ali, that was just the tip of the iceberg. She claims these same rituals were part of it too. Again, we're not saying this is confirmed. But it is strange how many celebs seem to be tied to charity work in poor countries, and yet kids disappear without much attention. Now, if what Allie said next is even halfway true, it's beyond disturbing. She describes something called pig night, allegedly thrown by Diddy. And this wasn't just about exploiting young women. She said young boys were involved too. They weren't allowed to eat beforehand, not because they were nervous, but because the goal was for them to get sick. Here's where it gets even darker. She claims some people involved had a fetish for the boys vomiting or having accidents during the acts. And if it happened, they'd be forced to lie in it, eat it, and be humiliated, while everything was recorded. As hard as that is to believe, Allie described it in full detail, like someone who had seen it herself. She called it pig night.
But we lost our house. We lost our finances back in December. We're not going to ask you for money, but I just want to tell you the truth because this is how it goes. You get pressured, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue back and forth this week like that mattered.
If she's making all this up, she might as well be in Hollywood, because that level of detail is terrifying. But if she's telling the truth, then the whole industry needs to be torn apart. Right after Allie shared everything, someone showed up at her place like it was a scene from The Purge. Her home was completely wrecked. It wasn't just a break-in, it looked like someone was either searching for something or sending a serious warning. And she wasn't even there when it happened, which honestly might have saved her life. If she had been, we might have been, hearing about her in the news for a very different reason. She went live right after, showing the damage. Smashed windows, furniture tossed everywhere, just chaos. She said it wasn't random. Whoever did this didn't just want to scare her, they wanted to shut her up, and she didn't hold back. She said people from certain groups, allegedly connected to some big, shady names, leaked her personal info. Her address, her license plate, even her exact location. It's like they put a target on her, as if she's some kind of national threat.
Everyone else in the world seems to have a more accurate picture of the Carters than Americans do. Way the Daily Mail is just pulling up all those lovely pictures from a very, very young Destiny's Child and a very adult Mr. Carter.
Now this part hit different, because Allie ain't just crying over her own safety. She's breaking down over the people she loves, her family, her friends, her partner, her child. She said they never signed up for this. They just got caught in the fallout. Imagine being stalked, hunted, and poisoned, just for saying what you saw. And now on top of that, you're worrying about your mom getting snatched, your cousin getting attacked, or your child going missing. That's a fear most of us can't even wrap our heads around. She said, "Y'all took everything. The only thing I care about now is the people I love, and I can't even get them out the way." Whether you believe her or not, that doesn't sound like somebody clout chasing. That sounds like someone running for their life. Now look, we're not just going to sit here and treat everything Allie's saying like it's untouchable truth. We've got to ask the hard questions too. What if this isn't real? What if this is a mental health spiral masked by trauma and attention seeking? That happens. We've seen people get lost in their pain, start seeing monsters that aren't there. Sometimes trauma creates stories the mind believes as a way to cope. But here's the flip side. What if the reason it sounds so crazy is because it's actually that dark? What if her story feels made up because the truth's been covered up for years by money, PR, and power? Let's not forget, folks laughed off that Epstein mess too until it was too loud to ignore. So here's the middle ground. Maybe Allie's dealing with trauma. Maybe her mind is spiraling. But also, maybe she saw something real, something evil, and now she's trying to survive it. History's full of people who were called crazy until the truth came out years later. So whether Allie's breaking down, being hunted, or both, this ain't new. If the system's as dark as some folks say, then she's just the latest name in a long list of people chewed up and thrown out. So what do you think? Is Allie Carter really being silenced for exposing something ugly? Or is this trauma playing out in public? Is Jaguar Wright proof that truth tellers get targeted first? or just another loud voice fading into the noise? And if there is truth in what these women are saying, how many more need to cry out before the world starts paying attention?